In my last Five Below video, I picked up this rug. I had no idea what I was gonna do with it. It has actually been sitting in my office for a while and I've been thinking, okay, what do I wanna do with this? So I had this idea that maybe I should try to make it into a like wall art piece. So I grabbed one of those plastic trays from Dollar Tree for this project. I cut out my rug so that it just hung over the edges of this tray about 2 inches. I placed some Mod Podge on the bottom of my tray. Then I put the rug in place. Then I was noticing that the Mod Podge wasn't holding it in place, so I came back in and added in some hot glue as well. To finish off the edges, I cut off any excess and then I turned it to the backside and hot glued it in place. Now, after I hot glued, I noticed that some of the rug was coming up. So I just took a plate and put it down on top of that with a weight to hold it in place until it had a chance to completely dry with the Mod Podge. And I styled it on my dresser with a few other items and I just think it looks awesome. Now, when I was doing the DIY with the palette earlier, I was looking at it and thinking, you know, this would make a really cool soap dish because wood items are so in right now. All I did with this little palette was I stained it with 1 coat of that golden oak stain and then I wiped it off with a paper towel. And I put it out with some decorative soap. Doesn't this look cute sitting out on my vanity? You guys are gonna have to let me know if you like it. I wanted to make some candle stands, and when I was going out in my garage, you guys know I have a lot of random things in my garage, I found this long piece of wood that I thought, you know what, these would make perfect candle stands. So I cut them into 2 pieces, so I had 2 pieces for my candle stands, and they were a little rough from where I cut them, so I just started by sanding them down. Next, I went to Dollar Tree and bought a 4-pack of these little plastic plates that they have. I'm gonna use 2 plates for this project. I spray painted the back and front of these plates with 1 coat of a gold metallic paint. Next, I'm gonna stain those wood blocks. I wanted them to be really dark, like almost like black. So I grabbed the darkest stain that I could find in my collection. To stain, I always wear gloves because it can get really messy. And I'm gonna use my foam brush and paint on 1 layer of the stain. Then I'll immediately take a paper towel and just wipe off any excess. I'm gonna do this to all 4 sides. Next, I'm gonna hot glue the gold plates onto the top of my candle stands. And I'm gonna style these with some candles that I already had on hand. And here's how my candle stands turned out. I love heading to the Crafter's Square at Dollar Tree. There's always so many great finds. One of the things I found were these wood oval pieces, and I picked up 3 of them. I started by drawing a line on either side of my pieces where I wanted to cut it off with my saw. Next, I lined all 3 pieces up and cut them with my saw. And I repeated this on the other side as well. Now, after you're done cutting your pieces, if you have any rough edges, you can always sand those down. I grabbed some magnets at Dollar Tree and I'm just gonna hot glue those to the back of my wood pieces. And I think these make really nice looking magnets on my fridge. Pottery Barn has this really cool white mirror with like this white background, and I just love the look of it. I knew that I could recreate this. So I grabbed a piece of white foam board from Dollar Tree. I also had one of their black circle mirrors already on hand. They sell these at Dollar Tree. So I'm gonna remove the mirror portion out of the frame, and then I'm gonna paint the frame with 2 coats of white spray paint. Then I used a straight edge and traced out where I wanted to cut. Next, I decided to use the X-Acto knife that they have in the craft section at Dollar Tree for this project. And I will say it did cut really well. I was able to cut the foam board with 2 cuts. Now, sometimes when you cut foam board, it's not perfect on the edges. So I went back in with just a little piece of sandpaper and I sanded it down until it looked, exactly the way I needed it to look. Next, I'm going to assemble my mirror. Then I'll add some hot glue to the back of the mirror and put it onto my foam board. And here's a look at how the mirror looks styled. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.